Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome into your daily read for Saturday, February 11th, 2023. I do want to thank you so much for joining me for this reading. But as we proceed, as always, keep in mind this is general for the day for all 12 signs. So just simply take what resonates. But we're going to keep it simple and jump right into the Light Seers Tarot. I did start pre-pulling some Oracle, but it didn't feel right in the end. So this day does highlight the fact that you need to trust how you feel, or even I feel the need to say and or a specific feeling or two that you recently got. Interesting. But let's do some shuffling. Okay, they just very abruptly had the Fool card fall out. I'm not going to take it. So it could be a push to think about a leap of faith, whether it's in dating, whether it's in a move of residence. It could be another commitment. It could be career. Apply it to your situation. But what do we have for Saturday? Thoughts of what you want is what I'm hearing. Okay, the Nine of Wands. So feeling quite burnt out. I feel like you could be recovering from the previous day or days, the week in general. But I do feel like overall, we're going to need to notice and highlight the victory throughout this day with the Six of Wands. That's needing to be more prominent than the Nine of Wands energy, right? So Spirit's saying, yes, we get it. You are quite burnt out or just feeling a bit out of it in certain ways, potentially not overly energetic, which is fine. Doesn't mean you can't get a lot done if you so choose or feel it's necessary, but it's a day where you're feeling victorious, and Spirit's saying potentially what you're recovering from left you with certain levels of victory all the meanwhile. So let's remember that. But it's a day where you're feeling quite in touch with your emotions. You might feel as if this is a day where you just have to keep swimming, even though you feel quite burnt out. I also feel like you're thinking about the mystery of a new chapter, that leap of faith potentially, but the Hierophant. So yeah, change is coming to mind. When is this going to come to be? Why is this happening now, or why isn't this happening now? A very Two of Swords kind of vibe about this. But I do feel as if Spirit's saying, if it's right for you, whatever it ends up being, could be more than one thing you're thinking about switching up or jumping into potentially moving forward. It will come to be when it's meant to. We always say that on this channel, but it's truly coming through in this reading for a reason. And it feels like Spirit saying, with this imagery here, we need a peaceful happiness to take over at certain points throughout this day, so that you can just recover and feel at ease in your mind, heart, and soul. I did get the Peace card from the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck, one of the many cards that did come out that I chose not to take once again. So again, it just feels like there's peaceful abundance, there's peaceful moments of regrounding oneself, of even simplifying your mind through it all. And I feel like there's something that's blossoming, that you're even blossoming through, that's taking a highlight. Something's growing. I feel like your individual soul growth, growth in general, that's taking a highlight. I do feel like you're thinking about how to better take care of oneself. And we're so proud that you are thinking about that. But the High Priestess. So two major arcanas to surround the center energies, because I do feel as if it is a very spiritual day, very intuitive. Spirit saying when you do feel the need to think back to one or two specific feelings you got, right, regardless of how that plays into your situation, and what that is about for you. And again, it could be in regards to feelings that you get throughout this day, or one in particular of importance. We need you to trust those feelings because you're very intuitive at this point along your path, and that's taking a highlight for some, a center focus at a point throughout this day. All right. But I do feel like there are moments where you need to have patience. That also is one of the cards I got from the Queen deck. And it's a day of re-implementing levels of balance to make sure that when you do feel the need to overwork oneself moving forward or add stuff onto your plate, even preparation for one, if not multiple leaps of faith, once again, or new beginnings, doors opening, however you want to view it, right? However it looks for you. We need you to be preparing for that and feeling balanced and grounded through it all. And as you make your way to get something or multiple situations off the ground, but it feels like through this, you're also going to need to have patience in regards to when something's meant to come to be, how quickly it will actually get off the ground or just progress. Spirit's saying a natural, organic evolution needs to be appreciated at this point and moving forward. But I feel like all the meanwhile, there's a sense of you needing to trust your intuition in regards to your money, in regards to you needing to be smart with your money, right? You might have a moment throughout this day where you feel the inclination to overspend or purchase something or a couple things, and then Spirit's saying, but isn't your intuition telling you to hold back out of respect for your financial goals, out of respect for having that, they're saying cushion, right? That safety or just security moving forward. What else do we have? I feel like I'm kind of shouting in this reading, and I've been very quiet doing them recently. I feel as if it's a day where the boldness of your voice is taking a highlight in the eyes and the ears of others, but also in regards to your realizing or remembering. They're saying so everybody, but the Seven of Cups, because I do feel like there's a lot of pondering, thinking. I mean, this does remind me of the last daily read I did for a couple days ago, but I do feel as if you're being reminded with whatever you're contemplating, whatever it could tie into those feelings from the past once again or throughout this day, but you're going to get an intuitive hit in regards to an option at hand, right? And this could have already been something you got an intuitive hit or feelings about previously. Either way, you're being reminded you have a lot of options, but does this mean that you should keep looking if you found that person or a situation that's right for you? But for some of you, this is a further out decision that right option hasn't been presented to you yet, right? Or you haven't stumbled across it, upon it. But I do feel like either way, there's a vibe about this day where you might find oneself pulled in a few different directions at certain points, having a lot to get done. You might be in the middle of a task, and then something else comes to mind or takes an urgency on your priority list. And so then you have to go and take care of that or do that and then come back to what you were working on or trying to accomplish. But it feels like all the meanwhile, making sure that you re-simplify your mind when you find certain levels of pulling around taking place or jumbling of thoughts taking place or coming to be. Do you know what I'm saying? But it just feels like through it all, it's a day of learning, potentially about what you actually want, how you actually feel, and what you actually know, and are learning to better understand. You might even feel it's a day where you're beginning to better understand oneself more, and I just feel like it's a day where you can't help but have one, if not multiple, important light bulbs go off in your head. And this feels important, it feels powerful, and it feels invigorating. They're saying it's a day that reminds you with certain levels of knowledge coming from one's skill sets like your intuition and from spirit, from just the occurrences throughout this day and surrounding it, that equals true levels of knowledge. And so Spirit's saying, what are we going to do with this knowledge? We're going to move forward and make some important choices for oneself to improve your life, to make sure we don't stumble upon or keep what's not meant for us in our life, right? On our plate. To not, it's almost a feeling that if you're drawn to this reading, you recently, or rewinding back a bit, passed a test from the universe, whether it was a spark of thought or a temptation to welcome the past back in, or to put up with the same unhealthy behavior, toxicity potentially, or whatever the case may be, right? It feels very tied to something you once dealt with or would have put up with. And Spirit saying, good job, you passed the test. And so now you can get ready for or welcome in who or what's more so meant for you, right? But this is a day that reminds you we have some knowledge and wisdom from those past experiences. Potentially they'll highlight one in particular to put to use to make the best, to make whatever this is for you. And it could be more than one situation. To make whatever this is for you very successful, all right? And they're saying more simplistic, but powerfully right for you all the meanwhile, right? So I just feel like It's a day where through levels of patience, regrounding, knowledge, intuition, once again, spirituality, could feel like a bit of an all over the place kind of day, but all the meanwhile, you're learning more about oneself, potentially what you want, and about what's about to come to be. And you might even gain a little bit of clarity through it all in regards to the past, which will then potentially help you with what's about to come to be and what's at hand. All right. It's a day of true clarity, preparation, and intuition slash spirituality all the meanwhile. All right. So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your Saturday, and I'll definitely see you next time.